Bit of a different video today, and we've been asked by a few people to give you a tour of the Finca. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to try and have a look at everything, and also try and give you some history, or what we know of the history of it, because in Spain there were no records. You know, even on the deeds it says the house is more than 15 years old. So there's no historic records like a lot of countries have, but we have managed to glean a lot and learn a few things, particularly from the family that own the land that surrounds us. They're still farming, and the dad, who's 94, he was actually born in the house next door. So yeah, let's go and have a look round. The difficulty was where to start. So we're going to start here in the lower courtyard. The main house is on the right. The kitchen door is directly behind you. That is, not me. These are the steps that go up to the apartment. We'll come to those in a minute. Behind me is the deposit. If you can see behind the mandarin tree there. Is the courtyard water deposit, and the steps over there lead up to the other courtyard, the higher part of the courtyard. There's a great big oleander tree. No idea how old it is, pretty old I would imagine. That creates a great, pretty colourful shade. Unfortunately it drops all its stuff all over the floor. We have to sweep up on a regular basis. When we first came here, this floor, it wasn't even here as a floor, it was just soil, and we had no idea that that these beautiful stones were underneath it. We discovered it one day and then cleaned it all up, and hey presto, there we go. And these are the stairs that lead up to what is now the apartment. It just used to be a feed loft for the animals, and we've still got things like the old, I'll zoom in a minute on this, on the kitchen window, the old bars are still there. There's no glass in any of the original windows, they're just basically wooden shutters. There's a bit of a close-up of it. We'll get to the inside in a minute. And you can see the stairs, they're actually Catalan vaulted, which originated from Roman times, and it's basically the tiles. You can see, or hopefully you can make that out, the outline of the tiles where we've got a bit of crackage. I probably should do something with them one day, because essentially vaulted things, they just hold themselves up. This area here, we're going to clear it out and turn it into a wood store for our winter logs. And just to the left, you can tell we've patched up the stone. It is slowly matching up, but there was a huge hole there. There's a big few on the land as well, we'll get to those later. There must have been something to do with the animals or storage, but it took us quite a long time to fill all that in. It was massive, and we did it mainly to stop the wall from falling down above it. As you can see, it does need a bit of pointing. And that's the well, the top of the well, deposit, not a well, sorry I keep saying well. In the interior, and all this floor is designed, it slopes down, so any water pre-gutter days would run off the roof and straight into there. Speaking of gutters, now there's a guttering system which feeds off that roof, off the main roof, and off the workshop roof, which is that part of the building there, and feeds down through this pipe, which I'm going to do something with one day. And all the water off the roof runs directly now into the deposit without any assistance. The gutter on the workshop and the gutter on the apartment right up there, they're the original, the original gutters, I guess. But we had to replace this one because it was rusty and had holes in it. Here we've got a few pots, the clothes maidens, and here's where we keep Cassie. There he is. In a cool spot, aren't you, mate? He's a lovely boy. So if we go up the steps into the upper courtyard, as we like to call it, we've got a bit of a social dining area here with an old gazebo that we inherited. We're going to put an outdoor kitchen in here with a nice big roof over the top. You can see the barbecue there, and a potting bench on the left, and that in the corner there, that leads out onto the land. We're going to make that, it obviously used to be a door, you can see the lintel above it. We're going to open that up and put a big door on it, and this is where Jessica Cat spends most of her afternoons. She doesn't look comfortable at all, but she doesn't move for hours. She's a funny one. This wall we're probably going to take down, probably not totally, but a bit, because we've got this other old outbuilding here. They're all where they used to keep animals, and so it's like little things like this, I don't know, rabbits maybe, who knows. There's another one there that I've taken the stone off, and one up there in the corner. So yeah, and again the old olive lintels on the floor. We started to dismantle this, but it's a big job to do. But we're going to take it all down, and then when we do, use the stone to fill in the smaller gaps when we do the floor up here for the outdoor kitchen. So we go up the steps to the apartment. I made this door quite a while ago now. It's looking lovely, maturing well. And again, you can see the two lintels, one there and one inside, and these are tied together with like a twine that's made from a grass that grows locally. Crazy. Right, let's go in and have a look. So I'm in what's going to be the living room kitchenette for the apartment. You can see the bathroom door behind me. This was a solid wall across here, and we actually knocked it through, and it's got two old railway sleepers above it, holding up the wall above that. There used to be old animal troughs like we've got downstairs, we'll get to that in a minute, all along this wall, but unfortunately we had to take them out. They weren't that pretty and we needed the space. Yeah, but this is now clear. This is going to be our next sort of project at some point. We need it done for the winter because we probably won't be sat outside that much in winter evenings because it gets a bit chilly here. The ceiling needs quite a bit of attention. We're probably just going to overboard it, and then that's where the main pipe work comes in for the hot water and the feed and the thing for the hot water tank. These little things hanging up here, they're what they used to hang melons up in. There's quite a lot of them. We may hang our melons up actually. We've got 10 growing. But yeah, we don't know what to do with them. We certainly won't be throwing them away. Very interesting features. And on the other side, this window, again, there used to be a door here originally because the floor there is just about at ground level outside, and I said there was animal troughs along this wall, so we assumed they used to bring the animals in through this door. It had been filled in, but it was just with absolute rubbish, and there was glass. The only glass in the house was inside this wall, so we knocked it all out and we actually rebuilt all that. That's all our own work. And if I open the window, we got the windows cheap. I couldn't have made them myself, but I made this shutter. And have a look outside. That's the view from the living room. Lovely it is. So this is the main entrance hall. You can see this wall that we knocked out and the sleepers that we put in. That was a hell of a job. This door leads outside into it's like an independent entrance that you can get to from outside without having to come through the house and through the other door. And we're going to put a little garden area out there, so if we have any guests, they've got their own little sitting place, which is quite nice. Again, you've just seen the view. It's the same view. It's on the same wall. In fact, you can see the window there. I actually made this door as well, you'd be surprised to hear. And I even made the hinges, which are very dusty, on this one as well. Yeah, we're trying to reuse all the original hinges. Anything we can possibly we're trying to reuse. But sometimes you've got to make things. And rather than buying cheesy modern hinges, I thought I'd just make them. I think they work alright anyway. I think they look alright too. So going in here, this is the bathroom. Again, all our own work, everything. We like it. We actually particularly like the turquoise tiles, handmade in Mexico. Apparently they are. Yeah, and wooden floors in here. This room we actually built a whole room, and we had to put that window in as well because there was no windows anywhere in this build upstairs at all. And the old door that I just showed you, that had a very small door on it. And then we come into the bedroom. Again, the window we put in. The windows are shut to keep the heat and the sun out. Try and keep it cool in here. Well, I'll open it for you for a brief minute. You can see our first view in the morning. There it is. I've left the shutters open because the sun's not shining on it now. There are videos on a lot of the latest stuff that we've done, and most of it's just unfortunately the early stuff. We didn't manage to get any. But this is, again, it's a vaulted ceiling and directly underneath the roof. We insulated above this, but below the tiles, I took all the roof off. And that's a light I made myself as well. This pipe that comes through comes from where it's going to be a fireplace in the main living room, and that hopefully should heat this room a little bit. Well, back downstairs, we go into the kitchen. This is a very small door. You can see the old olive lintel, and even these are the floor joists for the upstairs, the ends poking out the wall. We're going to be making this door bigger, putting a piece of steel in, which we have done on a lot of the others, but we've retained the original lintels, just to give us a little bit more height, because you've proper got a duck. And into the kitchen. So I'm in the kitchen. You can see this is an older type vaulted ceiling, with the domes between the beams. At the back there is the old traditional oven. It's a proper traditional dome thing. Still works. We use it in the winter to keep us warm, and we'll be cooking on it in the winter as well. This behind here is that big hole that we found. That's on a previous video, and you can see the windows there. Just a wooden shutters that close. And the floor in here is half stone. There used to be a wall across. You can see the tunnel there, just where the wire is. To that side, I guess they used to herd the animals through it. And this is Beryl in her daily spot, fast asleep. That leads into the old house. That's a snug. I'm not going to go in there today because it's not changed, and if you want to see that, go back to our very first video. It's all on there, a full tour of the house when we first started filming, and you can see the vaulted ceiling here. That should clean up rather nicely. We're not even sure how old this place is. We believe that this kitchen and the snug behind and the other room at the front was the original small house. There's an inscription on the wall from the person that built it, or the person that owned it, from 1908. But the bodega we think's original. It's over there, the workshop now. And we think that the two walls in between were built at a later date, and that's the date that that was built. Because normally this style of building dates back to about 1860, 1870, from what we've learned from other buildings that are very similar. Again, you can see the old lintel on the back door leading out to the courtyard. And if we come round to the corral, again, there's an old piece of olive in there, bound in the twine. Even a little handle here. There used to be a step up, this Jessie's baby gate to keep her in, but we took that out to allow us to get this French door in, patio door in. And you can see the ceiling in here is completely different. Obviously leading us to think that it was a much more modern type, and this again is vaulted, the tile vaulted. And we actually think that this was outside at some point. Oh, there's Dolly Tickle in her spot. Because it's still got the old animal troughs in, with the rings that they obviously used to tether the animals to. We're keeping these, of course. We're going to put lids on them that open up to keep all our stuff clean, because they do hold loads of stuff. And as we've said many times, we want to keep as many of the original features as possible. That's the French door we put in. This is Dolly Tickle. Hello Dolly. She's the world's cutest cat, aren't you? And you can see again the window, the bar across. View out of that one. Nice cement mixer with the wooden, original wooden shutter on it. There used to be a window here, which we're going to put back in as well. We'll have a look at that from the outside because it is pretty close to ground level. So let's have a look outside. The French door there has a shutter on it that I made. We keep that closed in the mornings because the sun's right on it. And I even made those hinges as well. That's the kitchen window, the utility room window even, the old Corral. And this is another one of the original doors with a little opening in it that goes into the snug. We're going to be putting a window in there. That's the the window that we put in, the bedroom window for the apartment, and this is that window in the utility room we're talking about opening up. If we go up the steps to the back, we'll probably get the dogs barking because that's where they live. Hello babies. This is the door that leads into the apartment, the living room window. And you can see the original beam, oak beam up there, which we've retained. There is a piece of steel in there as well. Here's Bear and Brucey. Go and lie down, it's too hot. Good boys. Brucey isn't daft, he's in the shade. So this is the view from the bedroom window you just saw before in the apartment. And these old buildings, this first one here belongs to the neighbour, our farm neighbours. As do the two end ones. They're in a very, very sorry state of repair, as you can see. The two in the middle belong to someone else, but they've pretty much fallen down, so I don't think they'll ever be getting restored. This house, they're very, very passionate about it. They do look after it as much as they can. Someone asked about the potential of being sold and developed. There's no chance of these. I don't think they'll ever sell this, to be honest. They love it that much. And so Dad, who's 94, was born in this one. So as we walk down a little bit, sorry if it's a bit shaky, it's my shaky arm. These two buildings here are just outbuildings really. They'll never be developed because they're not really big enough to be developed. And I don't think they'd ever get permissions to do them anyway, because they've never been sort of habited dwellings. They've always been, that's actually an old bodega with big tanks in it, like a workshop as well. And same with that one. This area is kind of, we don't own it, but it's communal. This is our right of access through up to the house there. And obviously, you know, we park there under the trees. Dad's mother apparently planted these trees. I say he's 94, so yeah, they're quite old. And you can see the other building there now. That's their water deposit. Collects water off the big house roof. As you can see, it is quite a big house. I'll go back a bit. This is another, just a shed farm building, a bit more modern I think, or parts of it anyway. You can see the front of the houses here. That's the family's house. He actually wants me to put my bathroom in there. He's seen ours. These are falling down, and those are the other two that they're sort of trying to save, I think. But good luck to them on that. This is our place. You've probably seen this shot a few times. To the right is the old corral, and upstairs where the flue is the apartment. That's the main house, and then the bit to the left is the old bodega, which is now my workshop. Again, above the patio doors, another huge tree trunk, I suppose. Okay, so people have asked about the land. You can see that wall there with the caper brush running over it. That's the lower border of our land, and our land actually looks like that with just trees in it and ploughed basically. And we'll have a walk up and I'll show you the other bit from the top. Again, the original windows with the bars on. That's the living room window. The old front door, we're keeping that. Another window for the other bedroom. This is the bodega workshop. You might remember we shoved a hose in through this window the other day. Definitely needs replacing that. That's our outside deposit. The stables. Those steps up there lead up to where we just were, where the dogs are. So this is basically our land. The olive trees up the left are ours, and this wall along the right that runs up, and this ramp, that's all ours as well. And up to the gate up the top, if you can make that out in the distance, the two posts with a chain across. We'll have a walk up there in a second. We've got 2,000 square meters, which is just about half an acre, just over half an acre I think, in total, including the bit round the back, the sides, and this a lot here. To be honest, that's enough for us to maintain and manage. Walking up, we've planted a little orchard here. That's where the septic tank is, and the soak away from that will water the orchard. They're all very young and small at the moment. Yep, you can see we're just surrounded by stunning countryside. There's one house over there. They're rarely there. It just seems to be a chap with his dog. No problem at all. We've got more fruit trees up here, and a big pile of wood that our friend bought up that's going to be our kindling for the winter. We're approaching the top of the land now. So this is up at the end. We made this entrance, actually we dug it out and to create the driveway. As you can see, there's not a lot out there really. It's just beautiful countryside, and almond. These are all almonds. These, or the trees in the foreground at least. So yeah, and that's our wall. We're going to be repairing this. Apparently the person that owns the next bit of land owns the wall that's fallen down, and it's their responsibility. And they've already said we're going to get it done, which will look a lot better. So yeah, looking back down, I'll move over here a bit. You can see the house at the bottom there. You'll have to exclude all that stuff, trailer, gas bottles and bikes. And they're what our friend brought up the other day when they came. They're our bikes actually, we'd probably ride to the bar on them. And you can see the roof on the left there is the apartment ceiling, and the oleander tree that's in the courtyard. The pinky flowers in the middle. If we just walk up the ramp, there's a little bit of land here that's not used for anything. Goes quite a way. You probably saw this on the dog walking video actually the other day that we showed. This bit here, it's not used for anything. It's just dead dry grass basically. So we're going to see if we can acquire this. It should come very, very cheaply hopefully. And that's the other bit of our land there where you can see Brucey, if you can see him. He sat down like a good boy. Where the big pile of wood is, that's the almonds we were donated for our fire in the winter. So we've come full circle, back in the courtyard again. You can see the sun's just coming over now, so it's time to retreat to another area. We hope you found that interesting, enjoyable, bit of history, architecture, what these things are made of. Of course, if there's anything we've missed, which I'm sure I've missed loads, stick it in the comments, don't hesitate to ask. As always, thanks for watching, thanks to all our subscribers, and thank you so much to the people that have supported us. Without your support we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. Thanks again, and we'll be back tomorrow.